each other.
What were some of the taxes that you were against that I could put in place?
Well, I've gotten a phone bill with it. I haven't paid my most recent phone bill, but it just seems like something that affects kids. I mean, kids.
The cell phone tax.
Yeah, cell phone tax. Kids have a cell phone. They have a lot of minutes on there, and I think it's what, $350 a month. It's a lot of money extra just towards the county. It's just wrong. The electric fees were wrong. We have other ways we could have looked at this. I mean, there certainly is waste in that budget somewhere. There must be. I mean, it just was simple. We raised taxes. We taxed the cell phone. We taxed the electricity, and it doesn't seem right. We do furloughs. There must be more creative ways to work on a budget. I actually have a program I have recommended.
Yeah.
I've never done an illegal drug in my life, and I've never smoked marijuana in any form before, but I believe that there is a marijuana movement going on out there. And some areas like California, this election cycle, are voting to legalize marijuana outright. Some areas are moving to decriminalize marijuana. Yet I think there's going to be a distribution company coming out there, large, like our Nabisco, or some of the other companies, Philip Morris. We need to have one of those in Montgomery County, a large marijuana distributor. And we can tax as much as you can out of it. A lot of money that's going to be made in that. Through that and foreign sales. I mean, people are going to use it. I'm not thinking of it as a user perspective on marijuana. I'm thinking it more as distribution, like a cigarette company would be. We can make a lot of money on that. We're ideally located next to Washington, D.C., and I know it's going to be illegal. It's going to be legalized. It's inevitable in America. And we're a liberal county. We're the second most liberal county in America. We can handle this. We need to have a large marijuana distribution company out there. And I'd be willing to talk with people on it.
What about kids, though? Isn't there a danger that kids could get their hands on the marijuana? How would we ensure that this was purely something that adults could have access to?
Well, you'll find similar arguments with cigarettes that are out there. Yeah, these are concerns I have, but it's inevitable. It's moving. What we need to look at as a county executive is, where are the trends? Where will the money be? And it's going to happen. It's something we can fight against, but it's going to happen. There will be distribution companies for marijuana in America, large distributor companies, plantations. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. And we need to cut into that income. That's a long-term way that we can help fix our deficit. We have a structural deficit. We need to work on it.
Another argument against marijuana is that it can lead to harsher drugs. What do you say to that?
That is a worry I have too. I don't necessarily think that it's a gateway. It could be. I mean, it's a worry I have. I think that's a valid concern, and I think that needs to be addressed too. I don't have all the answers with that, but yeah, I am worried about that. I don't like that society is moving that way. It bothers me because I've never been a user. Yet it's a fair question, and I'm worried about that as well.
We have a $1 billion deficit. You mentioned that to me. What is you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what is your plan to bring down that deficit, and can you do it without raising taxes?
Well, they've already raised taxes, and officially, some of like the energy tax is only for 2 years.
Right.
I mean, I don't think people really believe in short-term tax hikes. First of all, you have to have an open topic with this, with the county council, with the county executive. Yet I think the way we can achieve this is through comprehensive school reform. I'm disappointed that the money being spent in the school system, it really isn't going towards new teacher hires and more teachers. I want more teachers in our school. I like our quality of schools. This is why people move here. Yet we're losing some of our share to Fairfax and even to Baltimore County. We need to be known as the school county in the region, where if you want your kids to do well, you want an international education, you come here. And I think what's happening is the movement is moving towards the administrators. Let's get great administrators because they make great teachers. They help the teachers or they help the students. And I'll tell you what, we've been in school before, students are disconnected with administrators. They feel connected with their teachers. And where cuts are made, I don't want to cut teaching, but I think those administrators, they need to take a hit. They're getting paid well, and there's a lot of them in there. We all know it. There's $2 billion in the school system. And there's the statements out of Jerry Wiest have been that that would be irreparable damage if there were any cuts. No one believes that. And the fact that our county schools, that our school board would actually have hired lawyers to file a lawsuit against actually our county government. I mean, can you imagine U.S. Navy being upset about cuts and it decides to sue the U.S. Congress. This isn't the way we operate. These aren't Republicans causing these problems. These are problems within the Democrats. And I think when you've reached that critical mass where Democrats are severely and openly disagreeing with Democrats, then you have to bring in independents and Republicans as long as they're willing to work with those Democrats.
Right, and you said you would work with them.
I have to. You have to. You need to always work with them. There's this, first of all, let's start with our president. President Obama stated transparency and openness. Candidate Obama ran on these premises. Yet I'm not seeing it out there. I see the U.S. Congress and the Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. They're polarizing. But Connie Morella's standard was never that way. Connie Morella worked across party lines at all times, as do other East Coast areas. Senator Snowe, Senator Collins for a while, Senator Specter, Senator Jeffords for a while. We're a little bit part of that East Coast or New England.
Mm-hmm.
We're certainly mid-Atlantic. This area has Republicans that actually work with Democrats. It does. It has a history of it.
Daniel, we're going to take a short break.
When
we come back, we will talk to Daniel about transportation and what he thinks about the Purple Line and the Corridor Cities Transit Way and how we can get more money from Annapolis to help us with our transportation projects. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.